All right, so I'm just going to begin again to say this is Julian Lines at Madhugiri, welcoming Professor Arun Chatterjee to share about his experiences in 1949 of his Darshan with Sri Aurobindo and Mother. So Professor Chatterjee, welcome.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. And I must thank Julian to start with for the invitation, which was very uh, unexpected, but was very welcome. Uh, and I already introduced my wife, Kalpana, and my two daughters, Rinku and Rani, friend Abhay. Uh, but before I will, I will tell you every meeting I had with the mother and Sri Aurobindo's Darshan. But before that, I have to give you some background and you have to go through that. Uh, and I will also get some dates clarified. I was born in 1939, July, and I went to the ashram in November of 1949. So I was 10 years old at that time. And I went with my parents and my twin brother, Ashok. I have two elder sisters who could not go. And the reason was that the ashram at that time did not have good facilities for the visitors. Actually, my parents were discouraged to bring their children, but they compromised. They took the youngest ones, the two brothers, but left the daughters with grandparents. And our primary contact was Sri Nolinikanto Gupta, whom my father came to know very well. Uh, the darshan was on November 24th of 49, which is called the Siddhi Day. Sri Aurobindo left his body next year on December 5. We traveled, and I will tell you, I remember these very, very well. We traveled by train from Calcutta to Chennai or Madras at that time. And we went to the main terminal. We spent 2 nights on the train, and then we had to shift to a local terminal and take a local train to get to Pondicherry. So it was not that easy to get there. And our accommodation was in a rented house a little bit further away from the ashram. So we had to use cycle rickshaws to go back and forth from our house to the ashram. And now I will tell you that, as I said, that I will describe all the meetings that I remember with the mother and Sri Aurobindo ashram. But many of you may have the question, and I too have the question, that how a boy of 10-year-old boy could remember every details so vividly. But there is a secret, and I will tell you that. When we came back to Calcutta, my brother and I had left our hearts in Pondicherry. We became very, very attached to the mother. And I developed a habit, and nobody knew. Every night before I went to sleep, I used to go through chronologically all the meetings I had as vividly as I could remember. And I did that every night for years and years and years. And so that's how the memory remains so fresh in my mind. And it's still today. Now, now I'll start telling you the sequence of the how we used to see mother every day. The very first event used to be what we call the balcony darshan. At the back of the ashram building, there's a balcony, which is called the mother's balcony. And early in the morning, mother used to come out there. And before she came out, there were many ashramites and people used to assemble on the street below that balcony. We used to also get up early to make sure that we do not miss that opportunity. So we used to stand there waiting for the mother to come, and she used to come out, and she used to start from the right side of the balcony, which is to our left, and slowly go around looking down and trying to see everyone. Then after she finished the whole round, she will pause for a little while and then go in. And we used to all stand with our hands, with the palm of our hands in the namaste gesture, silently. There was no absolute silence. And then after the mother would go inside, then the group will break up and we'll go our own way. So that was the first event. Then we used to have the breakfast at the dining hall, and then around middle of the morning, 10, 10:30, 11, mother, there used to be a flower distribution at what is now called the meditation hall. I don't think it was called the meditation hall at that time. I think now it's called the meditation hall. And mother used to come down the stairs from the upper floor. There was a chair that she would sit down, and someone will be standing right next to her on her right with a tray full of flowers. Sometimes he was in Champak Lal, who was the Sri Champak Lal, who took care of the mother, and Sri Aurobindo. Sometimes he will be there. He will be holding the tray, and people would be lining up, and then one by one they will go in front of the mother and they receive the flowers and then bend down, do pranam. I don't think people touched her feet. Maybe some people did. We used to wait. We used to wait before so that we can see the mother as long as we could, and then finally we'll get up and join the line, and we'll go one by one. My father used to be the first, mother next was me and my brother at the back, and I will receive the flowers, then do pranam, and then go. This was a daily affair. So we used to see mother every day on the balcony, and then this flower distribution. In the afternoon, mother sometimes used to play tennis. At a tennis court, there was a area play. I don't know what it was called, but uh, It was a little further away from the ashram building on the seaside. And there were a few courts. There may have been a basketball court also. And we used to go not regularly, we used to go once in a while to see if mother was there. She would play tennis with some of the boys and girls of the ashram, sometimes a few adults also. But that was occasionally, not every day. But almost every day, mother used to come to a playground, which is still there, not too far from the ashram. And she used to walk. It was late afternoon, just before evening. And she used to walk around the perimeter of the playground with uh, a person named Prof Chatterjee, who was in charge of all the athletic programs. And we used to stand at a corner uh, and watch her go by and make her rounds. And then finally, when she would finish walking, she will go and stand at a place, and everybody there would assemble in front of her, and there used to be a silent prayer for a few minutes, and then it was broken up. So this was almost every day. And the playground is still there. Last time I went to the ashram, I did go by and look at it, and also met Pranabda there. Then comes the two. Let me check my notes to make sure if I'm leaving out something or not. Okay, before I come to the last two very memorable events, I would just mention that sometimes mother did flower distribution in the evening also on some special occasions. And we'll come to know from other people that she will be there, and we used to go and receive flowers from her. But that was occasionally. Now, toward the end, the Darshan day came toward the end of our stay. And I remember the day we were so excited. Uh, we knew that there was a schedule about, which, there were groups of people, the closest disciples, then the Ashramites, then the visitors, and they were scheduled. The visitors came later, uh, and the first groups were the closest disciples and the Ashramites, and then came our turn. In the early afternoon, we went to the ashram building, and there was long line, and we were told that we have to take some flowers or something to offer. And there were people there who were selling, I remember, some wreaths, and and we bought 4 wreaths for one for each of us, and then stood in the line. The line moved very slowly, and then I remember going. There's stairs at the meditation hall that go up. Which mother used to come down for flower distribution. We went up using that that flight of stairs, and then finally we came to a room, and I think the room was next to the Sri Aurobindo's room, where Sri Aurobindo actually stayed, slept. I think that was the room. And one by one, people were going. standing for a few seconds and then moving on. My father was, in our group, my father was the first to go, then my mother, then my turn came. There was a large basket in front separating where the Sri Aurobindo and mother were and we were. And those baskets were where we were supposed to put the flowers or wreaths. And so I put the wreaths in that and then looked at Sri Aurobindo. She was she was staring at me, very quiet gaze. If you ask me if I had any special feeling or anything, I have to say no, I don't remember. Just remember the very quiet gaze of his. I couldn't stand there very long. I remember making a left turn, and but at that time I couldn't help but notice what mother was doing, whether mother was looking or not. But she had her head down and she was not looking. But then I went on, following my parents, and my brother came. And then I don't remember exactly how we came out. And finally we came downstairs, and there were people who were there. They were, hushed while they were sharing their experience of seeing Sri Aurobindo and all that. So that was the Darshan day. Then the last event I will share with you is it's very memorable to me. It happened on the day that we departed Pondicherry. We had to take a train from Pondicherry to Madras or Chennai early in the morning, and we got up very early at night, late night almost. Got up, packed up our everything we had, and then there was one person, one ashramite, I forgot his name. He was assigned to help us, and he came right on time. And then we took, rickshaws, cycle rickshaws, and loaded up. And then he took us to the ashram building, and he took us to a room upstairs. I think it was at the end of the building, a small room, and he took us there and said, "Wait, the mother will be here soon." So we were, you know, uh, waiting anxiously. And then all of a sudden, a door opened, and mother came in. She was standing right in front of us. And my father did pranam. There was a vase there which was holding several sticks of roses. And the mother took out one of the roses and gave it to my father. Then my mother did pranam, and she received also a rose. Then came my turn. I did pranam and got a rose. Then my brother. Then I remember distinctly my father said, "The mother, I have two daughters who could not come." Mother knew exactly what my father was trying to say. She took out two more roses and gave it to my father. Then my father had some brief conversation with her, which I don't remember. Then, then we left. That was the last time I saw the mother. I did not go back to the ashram until after mother passed away. My parents, my siblings, my sisters, brother, they went there. They had mother's darshan many several times, but I used to study in the residential college. I didn't stay at home continuously. And then soon after I graduated from engineering college, I came over to this country. So that's why I missed out on the visits. I only visited after. From here, I went to India to visit my parents. My father had passed away at that time. And then I took my wife and two children to the Pondicherry. And then we have been back a few more times. But the last time we saw mother was at a small room right before leaving leaving Pondicherry to come back to Calcutta. So those are my memories, and and I don't think I have any more memories to share. I hope you liked it. Thank you for listening.
We're so grateful, Professor Chatterjee. You brought the mother to us on this Darshan day, and the privilege of being there in the room with you, you have conveyed to us. And that is so very precious. And we're so grateful for that, especially those of us who did not have the privilege of meeting Mother in person. So thank you so sincerely for sharing this very profound experience with us.
Thank, thank you for again. Thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to share my memories. Thank you.